Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Patrick here from the J Music Ensemble, and we're bringing a new series to you called J Music Talks, where we bring you, the people, closer to the artists that you love and introduce you to artists that you will love. And you'll find out many different techniques. You'll find out maybe what they're wearing, what they're singing, how, whatever. We'll give you all those facts and all those details. Now, being that this is the very first episode in the series, it's special for many reasons. Not only is this the first of many to come, but also it is kind of special promotion for the show that we'll be having on August 20th. As you mentioned in the previous video, the Liberty City Anime Convention 2017 at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square, New York City. And the guest that we had last year, that obviously is an incredible singer and we've had with many of our shows before, is right next to me. And I want to introduce you all to Emmy, if you want to say hello.
Hello.
All right, Emmy, it's great to have you here. Obviously, I know we've been hanging out for a lot, but the audience, I'm sure, has a lot of different questions if they've been seeing you in our videos or like other places. So why don't you say we get this conversation started?
All right, let's go.
Okay, so obviously, you're a great singer. We know you that. You're also a great voice actor, but also heard that you play piano. So why don't you kind of like break it down? Like, what came first? Was it singing, piano? What did you start with?
First of all, you're too kind. I'll let you guys judge that for yourself. But as far as which came first, it was definitely piano. I started it when I was around 5 years old. Like many people, I did not like to practice, and I still don't like to practice, so I didn't practice very much, but then somehow it took over my life, and, well, now I'm here.
Nice. So when did you start singing?
I'd always sang in, like, choirs and stuff when I was younger, at, like, church and stuff, but I guess it was really around beginning of high school when I started doing covers and actually taking it a little bit more seriously and putting stuff out there.
Oh, so it started with covers. That's like what started you.
It's mostly covers, yes.
Nice. That's great. What were the first things that you started covering?
I'm a really big fan of this series called Slayers.
Oh, yeah.
So I was a huge fan of Megumi Hayashibara and Okui Masami, and I did a lot of covers from Slayers music. Still listen to a lot of Slayers music, and keeps me going.
Yeah, nice. Very cool. So Slayers actually being one of my favorite shows. I'm glad that you brought it up, because one of the things that always stuck out to me was like just the immaculate like art design for the time period. You know, just like amazing. Like, and the costumes really stuck out to me too, as a lot of the other shows did. So I also understand that most of your fans know you mostly as a cosplayer. So why don't you talk about like how you got started with that?
So Otakon 2008. I was a very innocent Emmy back then. I did not know the dangers of what I was stepping into. But Jam Project was having a concert at Otakon, so I was like, I need to go there now. So my friends and I got together and did a Persona 3 group, and I guess it's just been downhill from there. I have spent hours and tons of money and blood, sweat, and tears on countless costumes. I believe I've made over 100 of them. I have slowed down these days because I am getting old, and I definitely feel it these days. I just want to get out of costume by 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. Just out. Take off the wig. I feel great. But, you know, for some strange reason, I haven't been able to shake the hobby off, and I still love it.
I think it's been working out for you, nevertheless. Now, the characters that you cosplay, do you have favorites that you like to cosplay? That's a weird question, but you know.
It's actually not as weird as you would think.
Oh, really?
I did have to answer this before in something else, but I would say probably Alan Walker from D. Gray Man.
Oh, wow.
Is someone very near and dear to my heart. Also Kenshin. I have cosplayed 4 versions of him, I believe.
I've seen them. They're great.
I did 2 of the movie versions and then 2 of the anime versions. Also, I really love Cheryl Gnome from Macross Frontier. I very rarely love female characters that much, but she was just so dynamic, and I don't know, she just spoke to me so much that I was willing to wear stuff that I usually would not be brave enough to wear. And I think I've done around 7 or 8 outfits of hers. But yeah, Cheryl, Alan Walker, Kenshin, I think those are the top 3. I might slip in Edward Ulrich in there too, but that's just because I am unfortunately on the small side.
Amazing. No, that's great. Do you ever find yourself getting into character in these? Like, do you find yourself like attaching your own personality or finding yourself in any of the characters that you cosplay at any time?
Well, that's where the shoots come in. One of my favorite parts about cosplaying and having the photo shoots is bringing the characters to life.
Right.
I've been trying to incorporate more like story-like elements into the shoots that I do, but I suppose I feel a little bit for everybody I cosplay. I will not cosplay somebody unless I do not feel some sort of connection with them. So every character I cosplay has a little bit of me in there, and that's why I feel comfortable cosplaying them.
Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so obviously you're very immersed into this culture, so I want to just know, and the fans want to know, how did you get into anime and J-pop culture?
Okay, so that's actually a pretty difficult one, because when I was about yay big, I went to Taiwan, and I came back with Yu Yu Hakusho stickers.
Oh yeah.
And little Babby Emmy didn't really know what Yu Yu Hakusho was, but was like, hey, these stickers are pretty cool, and kind of just stuck them everywhere, much to my parents' dismay.
Amazing.
And later on, I started watching stuff like Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura, and then I noticed that Yu Yu Hakusho was also on TV, and I was like, hey, those people look familiar. So I just started getting into it more and more, and then I believe every single time I went to Taiwan, I just got into it more and more. That's actually where I found out about Yu-Gi-Oh! And as far as J-pop, I just listened to a lot of Slayer's music.
Oh. Yeah, because you were talking about Making Me Hayashiba earlier, right? Yeah. Wow, very cool. Okay, so what made you want to start singing J-pop?
Also Slayers.
Also,
I mean, my role model, my idol is and always has been Okui Masami. So that's also in general how my singing style is when I'm not trying to imitate a different one. That's how my voice sounds normally. I just love her energy. I love seeing her on stage, and she's like almost 50, and she's just full of so much energy.
I know.
And her range is also fantastic. Some of her songs are very, very challenging to cover, but they're all a lot of fun, and I actually have this bit of an embarrassing story. When I did go to Otakon that year, I was able to go to the Q&A, and for some strange reason, well, I guess by some luck, I was able to ask her a question.
Wow.
And I completely broke down. I was crying while I was asking my question because it just meant so much to me. I was very lucky that year because I was also able to get their autographs twice at that convention, and it's been great.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah, I'm always trying to meet those people in the industry. It's really amazing that you at least got to be there, like in front of her, and like actually ask those questions. That's really cool.
After I finished crying.
Of course. Wow, amazing. Okay, so here's the big one. What do you think about when you're singing J-pop or anime covers?
What the hell the lyrics are?
I guess, is there anything going through your mind before you're singing? Like, is there a certain way you approach the songs that you sing? Is there a certain, like, you want to get the character? Is there, like, a certain tone you want to go for? Or is it just happen? How does that...
I'm also trying to think of the lyrics before I start singing. But I guess it's just like with piano. It's mostly just one emotion, and I stick with the emotion. And basically, what I'm singing, especially since some people might not know what I'm saying, what I want to get across is the feeling. So that's what I feel is most important in music in general. It's you want others to be touched by what you are giving them.
Yeah, right.
And also lyrics.
Okay, so this is probably a question that, I know I'm dying to have an answer for. I guess some other people are too. What are some of your favorite J-pop artists or J-pop songs that you like to sing?
Well, you already know my favorite J-pop artist, so I'll just pass that one over.
Sure.
As far as songs goes, that's actually a very, very difficult question. I think one of my all-time favorites is Kimi no Kyoku from Persona 3. It's just...
That's one of the best.
Yeah, I don't even have words to describe how awesome
good.
it is.
And there are many different versions of it too.
Yeah.
I love that one.
It's
Persona 3.
wonderful.
Woo.
I love that game so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one that comes to mind directly, which is kind of funny because it's not an Okumasami song. But
Uh-oh.
yeah. But otherwise, it really is hard. So I'm just gonna stick with Kimi no Kyoku for now.
Okay, great. So usually when I ask that question, I try not to be specific. Like, what is your absolute favorite number one? And then like, oh, I have so many. But this time I just open the floor and say, hey, like, what are some of your favorite? And you just gave me one. That really happens.
Try that more in the future.
I guess I'll do that next time. On the future J Music Talks, I guess I'll use that as a strategy. But thank you. I appreciate it as an answer. I love Kimi no Kyoku too. It's a great song. How has getting involved in Japanese music and culture affected your life?
I've made a lot of friends. I've been able to perform for a lot of people. I've been able to just experience a lot of things, and I have something to watch when I am very bored or just need something to watch, or I have something to look forward to. It reminds me of when my brother said, I love it when One Piece comes out on Wednesdays. It's the highlight of my week, which really shows how sad my week is.
That's incredible. Wow, that's beautiful. That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I think all of us can relate, especially as we're watching this video, to stories like that and to other stories people might have about like anime and J-pop, kind of like lifting us up, taking us to like another. I know, obviously, oftentimes it takes me to like another place. You know, obviously from my own country, but just to another place in general, visually or ideologically. It's like another fantasy realm, like altogether, that helps me like be a part of that kind of a thing. So
personally, while I do love watching anime, I've actually been more into just reading manga or light novels.
Right.
And I definitely lean heavily towards playing video games. If given a choice between watching an anime or playing a video game, I will probably play the game.
You're mostly talking about like games that have an anime type feel to it, like a JRPG or like, you know, certain games like that.
I'm very big on the Tales series, as mentioned before. I also love Persona games. Final Fantasy, of course, is classic. I've recently been very into the Legend of Heroes series, which you can play on Steam. I could go on for a very long time.
That's good. I mean, I was gonna ask a question. I guess that you answered a question that I didn't even have to ask about what your favorite video games that you're playing are. So that's cool. Great. Okay, final question for you, and this is gonna be a quick one, of course. What would you say are currently your top 3 favorite anime series right now?
So about that, I have basically had the same favorite series for years. While there are new series that I do enjoy, I do believe my favorite series is still Yu Yu Hakusho. I love Yu Yu Hakusho very much, and also Hikaru no Go.
Oh wow,
One
this
that's
brought me
very,
back.
very dear to me. I still cry whenever I read parts of it.
So why don't you join the Shogi Club?
You mean Go?
Why don't you join the Shogi Club?
I actually did dabble in Go, but I've never played Shogi in my life, and neither has Hikaru, so...
Yeah, but who was that one cat, the one guy was always trying to get him to join? You should do Shogi. You should join the Shogi Club. That's so good.
Yeah, so it would be Yu Yu Hakusho, Hikaru no Go, and I guess for the third one, I'll go with Deep Green Man.
That's an eclectic array of stuff. I think everyone knows that and appreciates it, but you just listen to some anime that you have to be an anime watcher to like really know what you're talking about. You know, like the shows that you're talking about. You know. Exactly. That's what I mean. I remember reading that in Shonen Jump like 15 years ago or something like that.
When they actually used to mail it out to you
Right.
once a month.
Oh, let's bring it back to a time. Well, it's a lost time. Obviously, it's a lost time, but that's something that I think I'll always cherish in my heart. Maybe. I wish I still had mine. But anyway.
Okay.
Maybe we should have some kind of a Shonen Jump renaissance at some point or something like that. Okay, that's pretty much all the questions that I have off the old dome right here. But I really appreciate you coming here and doing this. Thank you so much. This has been, of course, I'm sure the audience learned a lot as much as I did right now. And so where can people find you other than where you're going to be with us next?
I mean, I'm on Facebook. You can just find me under KitsuneSqueak. And that's basically it. I mean, I guess you can find me on Instagram as the same KitsuneSqueak and also Twitter.
All that stuff will be in the description box below. So in addition to the interwebs, once again, I want to have a reminder to you all for that are in the end of this video that you can see her perform with J Music as a special guest on August 20th. That's a Sunday at Liberty City Anime Convention 2017 at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. It's going to be killing. It's going to be so lit.
To see you there.
Yes. There's going to be some new songs. And again, we always like to say that there's some new songs that are going to be coming your way. If you have any suggestions, that's still open. Believe it or not, we are still taking song suggestions because we love to put anything out to surprise you and also to give the band some new stuff to perform.
And surprise the artists.
But at any rate, thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Amy, for being here. We really appreciate you. Yes, of course. So if you want... I'm glad you had fun because I certainly did. As always, if you want to find out more about the J Music Ensemble and what we're doing, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button below in that box. Or you can go to www.jmusicband.com. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And whenever we post stuff on SoundCloud as well. So... until next time, thank you so much. Have a good one.